All right. Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome back into another episode of the Regular Guys DFS show. NBA again today, obviously. Welcome back into the dungeon. I am David, and we're going to take a look today at this next two-game slate involving the same teams that we're currently in the middle of a two-game slate of. And so today's video will be a little bit different, guys. I just wanted to touch on a couple things from yesterday and give you a couple thoughts of mine going forward here if you're going to play today's two-gamer. So first of all, let me start off with this. If you don't mind, if you would please hit the like button down below, hit the subscribe button, and then hit the notification bell. That way you get notified every time we do put up a new video. And give me a follow on Twitter, please, at SandoDFS. The link to this video goes out on Twitter. I put out updates throughout the day if I feel like they're necessary, or if any information comes across, or if I come across any information that I might not have had at the time of recording this video. I put it out on Twitter, and we've got the $25 contest going on for 25 DFS bucks. If you retweet the link to this video, you're automatically entered. I've got a little list right over here of people who have retweeted the post that has the link in it. So another reason to, give me a follow on Twitter, guys. Again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Greatly appreciate you guys tuning in, supporting the channel. We're trying to get this thing really built up before our bread and butter here starts in a couple months for the NFL, where I've had a fair amount of success for a regular guy playing NBA DFS, or DFS in general, rather. So, okay, let's touch on a couple things here before we get into today's lineup. I think this is really cool that we get to play this slate today, because DraftKings had put out this slate and made it an option to register and fill out lineups and all that before yesterday's game, before last night's game. So we get a pretty good look, guys, at how we think maybe Ty Lue is going to attack this Suns team going forward. And DraftKings wasn't able to adjust any pricing. For example, we talked yesterday about Ivica Zubac and how he might play a bigger role just because of DeAndre Ayton, and they need bodies to run at DeAndre Ayton. Who are they going to run at guard? Are they going to give Terrence Mann, continue to give him run, or are they going to put Patrick Beverley in more for defensive purposes? We got answers to some of those questions last night, and I think it's reasonable to assume going forward in a game where they only lost by one, and the Phoenix Suns were incredibly lucky to even win that game, that what they did last night was a pretty good formula. And now they're going to go home, and I don't see them changing it up that much, and yet we can take advantage of pricing on guys like Ivica Zubac. I guarantee you the next slate that comes up, Ivica Zubac is not going to be, what is he, 3,600? Where's he at? There he is. Yeah, 3,300 for Ivica Zubac. So take advantage of that today, guys, when you're building your lineups and when we're deciding what value we're going to use. So guy like Patrick Beverley, who is still incredibly cheap. Now, Patrick Beverley, even when he gets the minutes, Patrick Beverley, let's just face it, he's a defensive specialist. He's out there for defense. We saw that last night against Devin Booker, basically broke his nose. Devin Booker did not have a great night last night. I was a little bit concerned about that, him coming off his first triple-double ever, that he would come back to earth, and I should have given that more consideration in the lineups that we have going on right now. But anyway, the point of the story is we can still get guys like Zubac and Patrick Beverley and use them for value and feel pretty confident that they're going to continue to get some decent minutes off the bench. Rondo got okay minutes last night. I think, 17. Didn't quite get 20 minutes. But look, he's productive. 18 fantasy points in 17 minutes. At 3,200, we'll take that. We'll take that. And then another guy that got minutes last night. We never know what the hell they're doing with Luke Kennard. We never know. but he got 20 minutes last night, 16 fantasy points at the bare minimum, dead min. He's certainly somebody you can look to if we're trying to fit, that second or even third stud into the lineups. A couple other things I want to mention. I've been doing some research since last night and this morning, and I just want to share these nuggets of information with you, and you do with them what you think is best. First of all, Trae Young. The last time that these teams met in the regular season and Trae Young was in the game, Jrue Holiday basically shut him down. I think he was 1 for 13 from the field and 0 for 3 from the floor, something like that. Anyway, and I didn't bring the damn stats down here with me. I wrote them down, but basically Jrue Holiday has been really, really good defensively against Trae Young. Now, regular season doesn't matter. I know that. Trae Young is obviously playing at a much higher level now, than he was earlier in the season or last year. But I wish I'd have brought the numbers down to the studio, but I didn't. Just safe to say that Jrue Holiday has done a really good job against Trae Young. So keep that in mind as you're building up your lineups and deciding what studs you want to use. Trae Young has not had a lot of success against Jrue Holiday. Couple other nuggets information I found out as I was doing a little research. Guys like Bryn Forbes and Bobby Portis, who basically did not play at all in the last series against the Nets. Consensus seems to be from some of the experts, some of the people that I trust, that in this matchup against Atlanta, Portis in particular, he's going to have a more expanded role. They need for him to have a more expanded role. And the same general talking point with Bryn Forbes as the two guys for value that we might look at, that just because they didn't play against the Nets very much, weren't very effective. Being a new series against Atlanta, most people seem to think that those two guys will have more of a role here. Now, what does that role include? I don't know. And I don't trust Mike Budenholzer any further than I could throw him. So he is a coach that just doesn't seem to make adjustments. So maybe he just turns around and keeps running out the same lineup he ran out against the Nets. I'm not sure, but keep that in mind, at least for this first game. And if you're playing series, it's something to think about. But at least for this first slate here with Atlanta and Milwaukee, the first game, I'm not going to shy away from at least maybe one or two lineups potentially using, a Bryn Forbes or a Bobby Portis for value. So take it as you will. Do with it what you think. But you know me, guys, if you've been following this channel, I don't mind taking some risks now and then, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. Last week when I told you to play Luke Kennard over Terrence Mann, and Terrence Mann had scored 97 points or whatever the hell he scored. Bad idea, right? But it's also can work the other way, where you take a chance and you got, some guys that people are going to shy away from in their lineups, and they come out. And Zubac's a great example last night. I have a Ivica Zubac in 2 of the 3 lineups that I have currently running right now. He comes out. He has a double-double last night. I don't think very many people, I didn't check the ownership, but I'm pretty sure he's pretty low owned, or he's certainly not highly owned. So we made up some ground there when Zubac comes out and has a double-double and plays all the minutes that he did. So maybe something like that can happen tonight, with a Portis or a Bryn Forbes. So let's get into today's pick 6. Like I said, the main reason I came on to make this video today, guys, was just to share those nuggets of information that I had with you, and maybe give you some thoughts in your head about using that Clipper value for this slate, because these guys are not going to stay the same price. Now, how much they go up, I don't know, but Patrick Beverley, is not going to be 3,300 or 3,500 the next time that these rollover 2-game slates happen. Neither is Zubac coming off a double-double. So take advantage of him today and hope for the best. I did build a couple quick lineups. I'm going to wait, and I suggest that you guys wait as well, as late as you can, really, to make your lineups today, because we have information coming that's going to be pretty critical. Cam Reddish seems to be trending towards being able to come back and play. Listed upgraded yesterday to questionable. I have this weird feeling that Cam Reddish might be available to play, especially now that we see Kevin Huerter is questionable. So a lot of things. And then I wanted to touch on this too, guys. Yesterday I told you I had a feeling about Bogdanovich, man. I just had a feeling. It was a gut thing. He was going to go off. Scratch that. I didn't realize that he was still dealing, I guess, with this knee thing. I hadn't heard for a couple days in between series that it was still bothering him. But he is questionable tonight as well. And he's not been very productive. I thought if he had a few days rest, got fully healthy, and the knee wasn't an issue, that he might be kind of a sleeper. We could slip in there. I'm not going to him. I changed as soon as I got the word yesterday that he was once again questionable. I just took him out of all the lineups, and he's just a guy I'm not going to play today. But the news is going to be so important. That's why I'm waiting so long to build my lineups, because Chris Paul, I have no idea. Cam Payne has been awesome the last two games. We all saw that last night. But can I build a lineup with Cameron Payne in it? I don't know yet. And I'm just going to have to wait, right? Hopefully we get some kind of news on Chris Paul's availability before lock tonight. If we don't, then I'm pretty much going to go under the assumption that he doesn't play. I know he's been quarantining in LA, and today, if I do my math right, I think it's today would have been his 10 days. Protocol was like 10 to 14 days, but if he isn't having symptoms, maybe he can come back. Tomorrow would be his 10 days from when he tested positive. So, is he going to come back? How effective is he going to be? But mainly, is he going to come back? That's what we need to know, because even if he doesn't play his full allotment of minutes, first game back, after having COVID or being in protocol, I don't even know if he has COVID. I have no freaking clue. Nobody does. I heard a report yesterday that the reason he didn't come back or make the trip because he was dealing with a fever. I have no idea if any of that is true. But again, I'm rambling. The point of the story is building lineups. I'm waiting today until hopefully I get some kind of an update on Chris Paul, because I don't know what to do with Cam Payne and Chris Paul if he ends up playing. And once lock happens, you're going to have to build your lineups in a way that if you're using Phoenix guys, that you can switch in and out for that game. So it'll be tricky. That's why I'm going to wait. And then we've got the Atlanta news today. I imagine Huerter will play. He's been an integral part. But the Cam Reddish thing does matter, because if he's going to even get, 20 minutes tonight, who's that going to come from? I don't think I'm going to stick Cam Reddish in any lineups, but he is going. If he plays tonight, he's going to take minutes away from someone. I assume it's Huerter. I assume he'd come off the bench, all that. So let's just wait to get into our line. We kind of know the deal here. We're playing the same teams and the same slate over and over. We know who the studs are. We know who the value is. It's just going to be, how do you guys want to construct your roster? This is one that I constructed earlier, going under the assumption that Chris Paul sits out another game. So here's how it ended up. I'll just kind of fly through this. I ended up with Cam Payne. And then I want to go back to Paul George, and I do want to mention Paul George. He didn't have a very good game yesterday. We saw that compared to what he has been having, struggled at the free throw line, all that. I think Paul George at home is going to bounce back in a big way tomorrow night. So Paul George is actually one of my favorite studs on the slates tonight for this two-gamer that starts tonight. I think I'm going to be pretty heavy on Paul George, and then I'm going to have Giannis, obviously, so I put him in here. I'm a little bit concerned about blowout tonight. And, throughout the season, we know you can't build your lineups generally based on blowout and if guys are going to play a full game or not. But I just think first game, Atlanta coming off a long series, Milwaukee's at home. I I just think that maybe Milwaukee, might kind of blow them out tonight. But I'm going to put Giannis, of course, in at least one of my 3 lineups. And then this is here. DeAndre Ayton has been great. I love DeAndre Ayton more. He really wasn't all that high owned as much from what I saw. And still at 6,600, he's not going to stay at 6,600. That's why I'm going to take advantage of him on this slate. And he might be in all 3 of my lineups in the center position. And then let's see. I was able to put Reggie Jackson, who I think will have bounce back and have a big game at home. Thursday night, tomorrow night. I love Jackson and I love George because if they're going to win, and they really need to win this game, we've seen the scoring pretty much is going to have to come through those 2 guys. And then we get to our value, and here's how I filled in the value. At small forward, after seeing Luke Kennard get some minutes last night, this guy, I know, he's been my Achilles heel. When I don't play him, he's in there. When I play him, he doesn't get minutes. I'm going to try him again. You know what happened last time I recommended Luke Kennard, so I understand if maybe you want to look a different direction. But again, this was just an early lineup build. Cam Johnson seems to be the guy from Phoenix that they want to go to instead of Torrey Craig. So I went ahead and fit Cam Johnson in here. And then, of course, if Vika Zubac, who played 34 minutes last night after barely playing in the previous series before, 34 minutes, had 30 fantasy points, a double-double. If he's 3,300, it appears to me he's going to be the main guy, him and Batum running in and out for defense against DeAndre Ayton. So I am definitely going to take advantage of Zubac here. And I still have $600 in salary to play with. So if I didn't want to use a Luke Kennard at small forward, you could go to, hey, PJ Tucker got the minutes last time. So maybe you put PJ Tucker in instead of Luke Kennard. PJ Tucker he's so frustrating to roster because he can play 35 minutes and score 12 fantasy points or 30 fantasy points. So, but based on what's happened in the last series, he's going to get the minutes, and I assume he's going to be in there as some kind of a defensive stopper again tonight. So that was kind of one of the lineups I came up with. I put another one together with Trae Young and Giannis using getting Middleton in there. I really do like Middleton in this series. And then I use guys like Beverly and Forbes. Again, I'm going to take a little bit of a chance that Forbes and Portis get more minutes for this series. So I'm not going to put that lineup up there. You get the idea. I just wanted to show you kind of what I'm thinking as far as value goes and which way I'm kind of leaning. Again, I'm going to take a chance on at least one lineup, maybe having Portis and Forbes, probably not together, but in one of the lineups. So anyway, that's it for today's Pick Six. A little bit different, guys. Again, I just want to take the opportunity to come on here and talk about the slate we have going on and starting a new slate, and how we can maybe take advantage still of some of these value guys before their prices go up. So before we get out of here, if you don't mind, once again, if you'd like, please hit the like button down below, hit the subscribe button, and ring that notification bell. That way you get notified every time we put something new out. And please give me a follow on Twitter at SandoDFS. I hope your lineup from yesterday is looking good. We've got some that are looking pretty good. Hopefully we finish them off tonight. And then if you're going to start this one tonight, obviously good luck to all of you. Good luck to all of us. And we'll be back next time on the Regular Guys DFS show. Thanks for tuning in, guys.